What were we going about?
Nazis built the pyramids, the aliens started the Holocaust. It's just...
We're talking about serial killers today. They're ghosts.
It's only going to get worse from here. Oh man, so GTA is finally being released. I mean, well, it's still going to be about a year before it's released.
Finally released, quote unquote, marks.
I mean, 12 years later, we're finally getting the fucking next installment of fucking GTA, but alright, that's great.
Wait, how many years later?
12.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out in 2013, GTA 5 did, and now this one's coming out in 2025. Like, holy shit. Oh, my God. Pretty soon, they're going to wait another 18 years for the next one to come out, and we're going to be like, well, we can't claim that one as a dependent. But, no, have you heard about this fucking, the Joker character that they put in there for their commercial?
Oh, in the commercial, yes.
Yes, this Florida Joker guy.
Yeah, the Florida Joker.
Fucking, he is trying to sue Rockstar now.
Oh, my God.
For likeness rights. And I'm just like, I'm sitting here just like, so you're able to sue a company for the likeness of you being tatted up, even though all your tattoos are copyrighted from an actual company that creates entertainment? I'm confused. How are you going to be able to sue a company for having DC comic logos all over your face and say that's likeness? No, that's not how that works. I mean, it would be one thing if you had original tattoos, kind of like what they did for the Florida Joker guy for the video game, which one of them is fucking great. The one across his forehead is called Impotent, which I'm like, that's funny as shit. But like, I get it if you came up with your own tattoo ideas and you put them on yourself and you were like, yeah, these are mine, but you really are being upset because you are being made fun of for doing the way that you did your comic book fantasy. I get it, but come on, man. Just be smarter.
Yeah, he didn't copyright the name Florida Joker, so they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Right, and you didn't copyright any of those tattoos that made your likeness, so...
Yeah, the other companies are like, oh, you want to sue Rockstar for your likeness? That's a good idea. We would like to sue you for our logos on your face without our permission.
Right, but that'd be like fucking a woman suing a bra company because other women have the same size bras as her. Like, makes no fucking sense.
I feel like well, I bet surely the suing thing is like just to make him more famous.
Oh, hell yeah. He's jumping on this opportunity.
Surely there's no way he's actually thinking that he's going to get away with that.
No. But he's getting fans brought in. He's fucking sitting here just enjoying this. So kudos for you for being a dumbass to do all that and to really fuck. He didn't even choose a good Joker. He chose Jared Leto's Joker to go off of. It was like, are you fucking serious, dude?
He's like, I knew all these tattoos on my face would pay off someday.
Yeah, and his criminal actions did the same thing. But welcome everybody to The Calling Couple. I'm your host, Gage, and today I am joined by my lovely, beautiful, wonderful co-host,
Sage. You almost didn't do it. Don't even pretend.
You
were jumping into it without me. Oh my God.
So
today we are what? Because I heard that, bitch.
Today we are going to be talking about if I come up missing, Sage did it. No, today we're going to be talking about some stuff, but before we get into that, if you guys have been liking our shit, go ahead and leave us that like down below. Leave us a comment of your favorite episode or some topics you want us to talk about. And be sure to hit that share and go ahead and hit that subscribe if you're going to do all that, just to keep up with everything, but make sure you hit that fucking bell so you can keep up with all the goddamn nonsense we got coming out.
The nonsense.
Alright, so now that we're past that shit. So, before we get into it though, don't you have a fucking update for us for Mr. Flippy?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a third and final installment for
fucking
Mr. Flippy.
Final?
Yeah.
Did he die?
No.
Damn it.
He's just banned for life.
Banned from life or for life?
For life.
Okay. I thought you were going to go morbid there.
With your story, we might be from life. So, he did his thing, man. He flipped out on a machine. Fuck you and blah, blah, blah with the buttons and the pushing it and doing his little flips and stuff. But this time, I guess he must have lost a bunch because he punched it. And they're just not the most, well-maintained machines. So it broke, and the security guys came and took him out, and he got banned for life. I'm sure they might possibly be in the middle of like trying to sue him for the damages and stuff. But now the travel center, I'm not sure. We might see him over there again.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's
because
banned
it's
from
right
all,
across the street.
I'm not sure if he's banned from all locations or just that main one.
Well, you never know.
I don't, because like he'd be dropping a lot of money there, so they might just ban him from our location.
Or they just be like, you know what? You're suspended for 3 weeks, and then when you can act right, you can come back.
No, because I bet taking out that Farmville machine cost more money than...
He took out a Farmville. He didn't even take out a good one like Money Duck or something.
No.
Damn.
I can't believe you actually knew the name of one of the machines.
I've been in there multiple times. I don't play the machines much, but...
Much.
No, the thing though is there's a main casino and then there's a travel center which has a casino inside of it. So yeah, there'd be one of those. Would he be allowed to go over there?
Well, if that's the case, you might have to continue the saga of Mr. Flippy.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the call to go in for orientation, but that's where they're wanting me to go, is over to the travel center. So hopefully that comes through soon, and I can get fucking started on my tales of the travel center
saga.
The fucking quest. I don't know. But, well, that sucks. Mr. Flippy's no longer going to be here. Well, I'm sure you're going to have some more fucking stories.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I have this crazy one-eyed woman who carries around a Kermit doll.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah.
Well, I can't be that surprised being the guy who was a Metro bus driver for 3 months. I saw some shit, man. So, hearing about a woman with a Kermit frog, I'm just like, that doesn't really shock me, but it might shock some other folks of like,
why the fuck does she have a Kermit doll?
Well,
the crazy one-eyed woman with your Kermit doll.
The thing is, though, is that's where she stores the dildos, so she doesn't have to ever leave the machine. It's...
crazy. She does have it sitting right over her lap, too.
Oh, I fucking knew it. It's the vibrator. If you start hearing some, you know what it is.
She does not shut up either, man. She just talks the whole time.
Yeah, she's trying to hide herself. She's trying to muffle out the moans by talking all the time. Yeah. I fucking knew this. I should be a detective. I should be the next Batman.
Well, if that entertains you greatly, you will enjoy all the prostitutes.
Yes! I will get fired finally for actually sleeping on the job.
Oh my god.
No.
Please don't, because they all look so nasty, babe.
Well, that is not the movies. I don't know why people think that, but it's not the movies where you see these good-looking girls being prostitutes. They're usually drugged out fucking people, okay?
They are.
So, yeah, the movies lie about it, but we should legalize prostitution. Yeah, legalize it. But the topic that we're going to be talking about today, I know we've been going on a tangent here, but it's going to be about addiction. And I figured Mr. Flippy would be perfect for it because
Casino, addiction, gambling, addiction, yeah.
And he's a great lead off to it because for the fact that he was addicted to gambling, that it led to his actions of destroying a machine because he was probably writing everything he had on it to fucking make his money for the while that he's gone.
Yeah. No, man. Well, he got a few addictions in because I'm pretty sure he was on coke. He'd be dancing and screaming too much not to be.
Pepsi's a little bit more expensive nowadays, so.
We don't even have Coca-Cola at the casino.
What the fuck is this bullshit? Are you guys trying to... You guys are skimming money by saying it's Coke when it's a Pepsi. You son of a bitch.
You never said it was Coke. It's blatantly Pepsi.
You changed a Coke into a Pepsi. No, we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be real seriously as much as we can seriously be about addiction. But being addicted is not something that I would say anybody should really experience.
I think it's something everyone does experience.
They do. Everybody experiences it in some form or another of whether it is drugs, alcohol, or partners, or it's cell phone technology, shit like that. Like there's addiction all around us, and we're very, very not sympathetic, but very, very easily persuaded by the addiction of the allure of I will never be addicted to this.
Anything that gives me comfort.
Yes.
Even anything that helps me escape this reality.
You know, and here's something too, is like some people sit here and say that marijuana is not addicting. I'm on the fence with that.
It's like not the addicting stuff in it,
yeah,
but how it makes you feel. Like that feeling of like relaxed and kind of euphoric.
Yeah.
That feeling is something that you're going to crave. Like you want to feel like that over and over again. That's called like you're always craving that feeling. So yes, that's an addictive quality.
Well, my thing is that I know that it's not technically addictive, okay? But the problem is that when you become complacent of just wanting to sit around and not do anything and all that, and all you want to do is smoke, that's where the addiction does come in. Because now you're addicted to, you're letting the weed take over to where you don't want to do anything. That is the best fucking form of high for you. And it's okay to get, it's okay, I will say, let me clarify this. I will say it's okay to smoke weed and do projects. Not while you're at work, but like if you're doing cleaning around the house or going to work on your car or work on the lawn or something, sure.
Just know your limits.
Yeah, but don't, like, when you want to get baked out and sit around on your couch and not do a goddamn thing, make sure that you
don't have other things to do.
Yeah, that you're getting your shit done while doing it. I mean, and that's where I say it's 50-50.
And don't get baked out at work. Like, you got shit to do, man.
Yeah, for real. Like, it's not something that I would recommend doing, especially the type of work that you do. You don't know what you're going to be into, and it does slow you down. I don't give a shit what anybody says about, oh, it hypes me up, all this and that. Sure, it can hype you up. I've been there, done that. I've smoked the devil's lettuce back in the day, but it does not mean that it hyped me up. Sometimes it made me feel to where I didn't have any pain to get things done, but
there's no hype.
It still slowed me down to where I was not at my full potential. So that's where I'd say the addictive personality is whenever you say, oh, I'm not addicted to it. But you are. If you're willing to sit there and say, I'm not addicted, that is your subconscious telling you you have an issue with it.
So I think a good example of weed not being addictive but still having addictive qualities would be people who are addicted to food.
Yes, food is an addiction. That is something.
But that's something everyone needs. So it being like moderation is your thing, but sometimes that's really hard if food brings you comfort. If it's your only comfort in the world, you know, like you come from it derives from bad childhoods, like when you were unable to control your environment.
The fuck you trying to say here? Just because I put on some weight.
Babe, I am talking about myself. I'll be honest. It comes from not being able to control your environment and all that kind of stuff. And the only thing that you could control is what you ate. Or like how much of it. So if, maybe not what you ate, because like you only had options that were at your house.
If you fucking threw a fit, you know what you got? The fist. Alright, so
I'm saying like.
Not everybody got that?
Not everyone got that.
Okay.
But that does pertain to what I'm saying. Like, the food, like, while you're eating, you can't be in trouble while you're eating. Because you're eating what they put in front of you. So that was a comfort. And then, you were the one putting something into your body. You were the one eating. And it was a really good thing. It tasted really good. And you're like, hell yeah. That's a euphoric feeling for a child. When I say euphoric feeling, a lot of people think, like, drugs and stuff. But when you're a kid, something that tastes really good is euphoric.
Candy.
Yeah, candy or your
candy
favorite
is actually
meal.
Considered children's crack.
I can believe it.
It's the same stimulant high as what some adults experience as crack cocaine, where they get that fucking and then they crash. It's not as long lasting and it's not as harsh, but kids become addicted to sugar real fucking fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it starts young, but then so like when you get older and all that, you try to get that feeling again of that comfort from when you were a kid, like when you were eating something nice for like that your mom made, you know. So you're just like, man, this feels good. And then when you grow up, you just try to recreate that feeling, and then it's not really recreating, so you eat more and more and more, thinking that you're gonna get this feeling again. Same thing with drugs. Drugs do that.
Well, here's also what you were saying. So a good fucking thing about weed is like people sit here and say, "Oh, the biggest argument is that you get fat." True, but you're not doing anything to counteract the overindulgence of food, so you are getting fat because you're spending so much time getting high that you don't want to get up and do anything. So you're feeding one. What I was meaning is you're feeding one addiction with another addiction, and then wondering why things. Yeah. But you're sitting there saying, "I'm not addicted." But if you go out and buy a bunch of fast food, if fast food's your fucking thing that you do every goddamn night, and if you don't get it, you get upset. You're addicted. You're addicted not just to fast food, but to the element of having to have fast food. That's an addiction.
I'm addicted to caffeine.
Yeah, caffeine is a huge addiction problem.
Oh, it's bad. I got that one bad. I'm so I need it. I need it.
And what is the result of you having a caffeine addiction?
I have to take heart medication now.
Yeah, you have to take a heart medication. You're just 30.
Yeah.
Like you've been having to take heart medication since your early 20s. And what you think would be harmless is not going to be harmless because we all have addicted personalities. And that's why I say it's no matter what you are doing, it's whatever you feel is like what Sage said, coping. But it's one of those how you would handle it to get through what you would say a day of your life. And that's fine, but it's all about how you handle the situation.
Yeah, I know people who smoke weed just so they go work out.
Mm-hmm.
That way they're not feeling pain, like you said. Like
right.
They can only work out with weed because it takes away the pain. And I feel like that is a healthy reason.
Yeah, but then we've also met people who
are addicted to working out.
That too.
Yeah,
that is a
high.
That is a high, and I mean, people say.
I wish I could feel that.
People say, "Oh yeah, working out is the best thing that you can ever do." But you know what? They say milk is good for you, but if you have too much of it, it's bad for you. So
yeah, too much of a bad thing. I mean, too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Yeah. But that's where this whole with one of the people that we know. I feel that they are addicted to marijuana, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing because they don't act bad or anything like that, but I've realized that it has probably become an addiction, and here's why. That person had multiple forms of marijuana and just multiple forms of THC that person was just like, man, I mean, if this ain't hitting it right, I'm going to do this, and if that ain't doing it, I'm doing that. I'm like, that's addiction, right? Like
to the point that you can't
function.
You're there and like hold on. I need to get to a point before I can even have a conversation with you.
Right, and I'm not saying it's honestly. I think it might be the chemicals that these plants are being grown with, and the edibles that are being infused with, the dabs that are being infused with.
My biggest thing about marijuana nowadays is everyone who says, yeah, but it's natural.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not natural.
Hell no.
It's not natural anymore, guys.
I remember growing up and having natural weed. And natural, your first time was with me, and it was natural weed.
That was perfectly fine. That was too much, actually. I'll be honest.
It was perfect. But now, if I have any of it, the next day I feel like shit.
Yeah,
I feel groggy. I
don't think any of it's natural anymore because it wouldn't make you feel like this the next day if it was natural.
Yeah,
and a lot of or like we've been saying, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Okay, then you tell me why one hit makes me have a fucking hangover the next day.
Yeah.
That was one hit too much.
And we are coming from the fact that we worked at a grow and we've tried the product when we were there and all different strains and stuff. And there were some that were decent, but a lot of times you either had to go through with dealing with the grogginess the next day and get sobered up completely, or keep it going.
I made edibles when we worked at the grow, and damn, them things were fucking potent.
Yeah, they were potent.
I'm just like, that's too much. That's no.
But I will say this, that I know my friend is listening to this, that is we're talking about, but we mean it in all love. It's nothing bad about, she is not that severe. Okay, I was using it as an example, but she's not the only person I've ever met like that. I've looked at other people that are just like, man, I gotta have dabs, I've gotta have this, I've gotta have that, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, what happened with just kicking back, lighting up a bowl and fucking ripping it? Now you got to find other ways to get THC into your system faster. Then you're becoming addicted. There is no... you become addicted to it. You've gone too far. I don't know why we need dabs. Because dab to me is almost like the next step to crack and meth.
Oh, I kind of agree with that. That's a little scary to me. I have a counter for your argument.
Okay.
You're saying, like, what we're saying is that these people cannot function without it. It is, but at the same time, we call it a medicine. I can't function without my heart medication.
That is true.
So
I agree.
So these people can't function without their marijuana. And the reason they have to take it all the time is because tolerance is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't come out with a steady way to keep it in your system.
Well, and my thing is that keeping it in your system and taking a break is actually... taking a break is a lot better for you than trying to go and be that way 24/7 every second of every moment. Because when you're being that way every second of every moment, your body is just completely used to it. It's going to take a lot more. You're spending a lot more money trying to keep that fucking high going. And yet again, that goes on the lines of addiction. You're no different than people on methamphetamine and all that stuff, where they're just like, I have to keep it going.
I see your argument, but you're not saying what I'm saying.
I get it. People need medication in the system all the fucking time, and I understand. I really do. But at the end of the day, opioids are very addictive. I know firsthand. I've been there, done that, because they were easy access, and that's what doctors were just giving me to get them out. But that's also becoming the same way with marijuana, and that's where it's like, how can we sit here and say that shit's not addictive anymore if it's becoming such medical status that they're putting more shit in there that you don't know about? You don't know what they're growing. You don't know what's in the seeds. You don't know how it's coming out. And you can sit here and argue with me all day long of like, oh, well, I grow it this way, and this is where I get it from. Well, fine, but we don't know where they're coming from, if it's coming from a medical establishment. If they say, here are the seeds that you are allowed to plant, there you go. And if it's seeds that have already been from a fucking pharmacy or something, you don't know what's been in there. So it could be addictive personality or addictive traits that are in there that you're not catching. But now you're relying on it to keep you high all the time. Some medications are good, and like they say with medication, it needs to become in doses.
I mean, you're not saying that you shouldn't take marijuana. You're just saying don't say it's not addictive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's your only argument. We're not saying don't take the medications you're prescribed. Don't take the marijuana. We're just saying don't say you're not addicted to it. Don't say that it's not addictive.
Yes, if you are reliant on it, and that's all you need. You just need that fucking that fix to get you going.
That's addiction.
Yeah, that's addiction. It's the same as a person in a relationship where they're like, I need to know what my person's doing. They have to get with me. And why? Because you're addicted to the attention. You're insecure. There's a lot of things that go into it, but relationships are an addiction too. Codependency is considered addiction for the fact that you cannot get through without the other person. Relationships can be very, very addictive and have a lot of addictive personalities and brainwashing. There's a lot of brainwashing where they call it like Stockholms and shit. But relationships, alcohol, caffeine, cigarettes have been known to be addictive forever. Vaping is part of it. If it has any nicotine in the product, that is an addictive trait. Nicotine itself is addictive. And people sit here and say, no, it's the chemicals they put into it. Man, nicotine is one of the chemicals. It's one of the main ingredients in it, and it's fucking addictive.
Oh no, nicotine is like scientifically proven to be addictive.
Yes. So any of that shit, I don't give. People can sit here. You can tell me all day long, this vape juice has zero nicotine in it whatsoever. I don't believe you. I believe you because you can sit here and say, yeah, it's got nothing in it, but how do I know that the person that made it without nicotine? I swear I just don't believe it.
Well, then how do you know that the soda you drink or the food you eat doesn't have cocaine in it?
Exactly. I don't.
Oh my God.
I don't. I do not know. But I know that if those
You're paranoid.
Yes, I am. And no, I am not high right now. But
this is just natural state of paranoia.
Yeah. No, man, if I'm high, I'm sitting here at the curtain just like, you see that leaf? It's in my lawn. Get out of my lawn. But No, I'm just tired of people sitting here trying to labelize. Goddamn.
Labelize.
I know, right? Labelize it. I'm tired of people sitting here saying that they're not addicted when, if you have, like I said, if you have to say you're not addicted, you are addicted. Your subconscious is telling you, no, man, you're not addicted to this. Like, no, you can beat this. You got this. And when all actuality, you are addicted to it. People that sit there and say, oh, I can go without my phone. You hear 9 times out of 10, you're fucking addicted to your phone. You cannot go without your phone. I mean, there's ways to do it. I just wish that people would sit here and stop saying that it's a disease. It's a disorder, I will give it that, but not a disease.
Yeah, diseases are contagious.
Yes, they're contagious, and it's also a lot harder to cure. And I guess that's where they get the whole idea that being addicted isn't a disease. And I'm like, no, I don't really see it. But like, there's ways that you can fix an addiction compared to a disease. But that's where I'm just like, man, next thing you're going to say is that, oh, being an addiction is cancer. It's a tit for tat argument on that. But more or less, it's not about it being contagious or spread to other people and all. And like, you can sit here and say, oh, well, what if they came up to my kid and they offered it to my kid? Well, did you raise your kid enough to fucking know, hey, it doesn't matter what society wants from you or what anybody needs from you. You make your own decision.
Oh, yeah, that's literally what parenting is for.
Yeah, but...
And then, it's just, it's up to each individual person to, say no or say yes. I mean, like, I don't know how else to describe that besides, like, just to know better, to be knowledgeable.
Yeah. And that's where I'm just like, it's not contagious if the individual is willing to participate. Contagious is where you have no say-so. It just happens. It's there. Being able to sit here and realize that everybody's just weak to some form of temptation is better than saying, oh, well, it wasn't my fault. That's the problem with addiction and saying shit's a disease. You're saying that there's no fucking blame at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, oh, it's not your fault you're addicted to these things. It's not your fault that you shoot yourself up with drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a disease. You caught this. You caught this issue. It just happened to you.
Yeah.
No, you chose that first needle.
Yeah, you chose that shit and you let it become a part of you because you are tempted to this. And I know people are probably sitting here just like, well, that's fucked up for you to say all this and that. Look, man, I get it. I've been there. Fucking Sage got me through my entire recovery and that sucked. But it was one of those that, yeah, I realized that I was weak and tempted by a lot of shit, and I cut all that shit out, and it sucked, and I've done a lot to change that, and that's where now that's where, if you notice, a lot of recovered people do stuff with their hands. They build things, they keep themselves busy because it helps out. And so I got into building shit. I got into working on cars and motorcycles and building my homestead, doing something, keeping myself busy as much as I can. Video games are a great way to do that too. Helps with your brain being stimulated and all that, but that can become an addiction as well. So that's where you have to take breaks. I miss the days that when we used to have those commercials for kids that say stop and play.
Mm-hmm.
I miss that shit because it was trying to help break the addiction of being reliant on entertainment, technology, and all this and that to get your ass out and go exercise. And that's kind of where it's at. It was like, it's okay to be infatuated with something, but you do need to take breaks from it. I'm not saying doing drugs is a fucking good thing to take away from that. I'm saying, just like with alcohol, you can get addicted to alcohol real fucking easy, but if you are willing to drink it in moderations, you can have a great time with it and not be that bad.
I have seen that a lot of the people, not a lot, but like a few people I follow on Instagram. I don't have TikTok. On Instagram, they did that. They thought, I'm getting pretty bad with alcohol. I should probably take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And they took a break. 3 years later, they've never touched alcohol because they realized it does make it feel better. Like, it really... like the thought that they think about alcohol. When they first took the break, for 3 months, he could not do anything but think about alcohol. It was on his brain. He kept thinking everywhere he'd go out in public, he'd be like, oh, if I just had a drink, just one little drink. And then he thought to himself, why am I thinking about alcohol? He never thought it was a problem. He just thought, I be partying every weekend. I should really just, like take a month off alcohol just to make myself feel better,
Oh, that's a good point.
And then he did it, and then he realized he thought about alcohol every day. And that's when he realized he was addicted to alcohol because he thought about it constantly. He's like, I didn't think about alcohol this much when I was drinking alcohol. But when I stopped drinking it, I thought about it every day. And that was when he realized he was addicted. When you're doing the thing, you have it. So you're not really thinking about it. Stop doing it. How often do you think about it then? Yeah, if it's constant, that's an addiction.
That's a good point because I do enjoy my alcohol and stuff, so I might end up doing that. But it's same with tobacco. Like I haven't had a cigarette in at least since before my wreck, and which about 7 months now. But I still think about it. I still love a cigarette. I stopped doing vaping.
I think you had a social cigarette.
I've had one.
Yeah, I'm saying a social cigarette.
And even then, I was like, ugh.
I'm just trying to hold you to your thing.
Yeah, even then, it was still like, once I took a drag of it, I was like, ugh, that's nasty.
You're like, that's sticky in my mouth.
Yeah, I really didn't like it. But even, I quit smoking, went to vaping, and...
I wasn't a big fan of that.
I wasn't, but I noticed I was getting addicted. To where even now, like even right now at this moment of podcasting, I'm sitting here just like, man, I really wish I could have a hit of a vape. But that also lets me know I'm addicted to it. It's addicted, yeah.
Well, it was really a lot of nicotine in it.
I did switch to chew, but chew's easier for me to quit. I have quit chew many times. I absolutely don't like it, but it gives me enough nicotine. And I haven't had a pinch in probably 4 days right now. Just not having a pinch of it. So, but it's one of those that, yeah, if you once you quit something, you are thinking about that, and I never really put that together because shit, there's days where I want to fucking relapse and be like, man, I'd love to get a hold of some Lortabs and just fucking go back into that or just to get the feel again. But I know if I do, then I'm fucked. I mean, it's one of those that, yeah, I never.
And after your wreck, you were on some medications for a little bit there, and you didn't like it. I was like, that knows that you really did heal from your addiction. That, like, while it did work for you, it did still get you that high. You just weren't a big fan of it anymore.
Well, and that's even whenever I was in the hospital. The only reason why I took any pain medication while I'm still on it is just because of the actual pain in my arm. I need something to help dull it. I can't smoke weed. I don't know. I just don't have a card or any of that shit. But all I'm saying is that even when I was in the hospital and I came out of it and all, I knew the anesthesia was going to be bad. And I knew it was one of those, but like the pain medication that they gave me, I don't know if you were there for that or not, but I asked him, I was like, what are you giving me? And I want to make sure that it's not the shit that I was already addicted to. And it wasn't, thank God. And now it's another form of medication that I've been on since then that it can be addictive. It is very dangerous to take because it can be addictive, but
all opioids can be, though. So.
Yes, they really can. I mean, people get addicted taking Benadryls and Claritin and
I think all opioids are the same thing. They just keep giving them different names.
Well,
they're all considered an opioid, so they're all opium. So
yes, but they all give you a different feeling, and that's where the addiction comes in. Like Lortabs ain't touching anything near what I'm doing right now.
Well, I don't want to talk about how drugs make us feel on an addiction episode.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is like to really clarify that up is the fact that everything hits different. Yes, it's all categorized as one, but there are different things that...
Oh, I know what you mean, man. Energy drinks and coffee hit different.
Exactly, and it's just like if you took a Old Glory versus a regular Monster, the way you feel is going to be completely fucking different. It's not the same fucking thing.
People who drink Red Bulls, You guys are disgusting. I'm just joking.
And that's why there's so many different brands of coffee and energy drinks and tobacco and all that, because everything hits different.
Yes, and the energy drink, different brands, I swear, is just like how there's different brands of cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
I think Red Bulls are Marlboro Reds.
Oh, man, I'm telling you this right now, guys. If you really go into a convenience store, look around at how many of the same product of different brands are in there and tell me you're not addicted to something. Tell me that you are not. It's not like you can sit here and say, well, I'm not addicted to chips. You may not be, but somebody else is.
Somebody else is.
Why do you think there's so many different kinds
chips.
of hot flavored chips? You have Takis, Cheetos, you have Doritos,
no, dude.
you have...
Okay. Spice.
Mm-hmm.
That is an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a certain feeling in your body, in your mouth.
If you spend $15 on the fucking red bottle, green cap srirachas, you are addicted to spice.
Yeah. You're addicted to spice.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You have like a million different hot sauces in the kitchen.
But I eat them all up.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone takes all their drugs too. Definitely hot sauce. Or spice in general is addiction. Because people just need that on their tongues, man.
Yeah, here's a good way to know that if you're addicted to spices is don't put anything on your eggs. None. None whatsoever.
They're like, don't do this to me. I need flavor.
Yeah, you call it flavor. We call it addiction. But yeah, like go without no salt, no pepper,
no,
nothing.
fuck that. That's terrible.
No, that is no butter, no cooking oil, nothing. Nope. Just straight up scrambled eggs with nothing else.
Well, fuck you. I'm not doing that.
And that shows that you're addicted to spice.
Hell yeah, I am.
Oh, you know what? We're just gonna have to become spice runners. Call us
Spice
Han and
runners.
Chewy. You're Han.
It better be.
Well, yeah.
I think you're going to be real offensive just then.
Oh my god. No, it's because I'm hairy.
You definitely are.
Okay, so, yeah, spices is a good example. I like that one.
You went so different than me with that one.
Because did you know that in Star Wars, spices drugs?
Yes, I know. That's why you said country. Yes, I knew. As soon as I said spices are an addiction, I was just like, he's going to do something Star Wars. I knew it. I shouldn't have said spices.
You left me open.
I did. I just meant like hot sauce. Like things that burn your tongue and all kind of stuff. Like people are after that burn thing because it's a pain receptor thing. And just like, it's a feeling that only that gives you.
Ooh, here's another fucking addiction that most people don't realize, and it is one that has been talked about many, many times, but it's not getting enough recognition, I don't think, anymore.
What?
Is, you know how like you're scrolling through your, like every platform now, every fucking platform out there has a commercial. You have a commercial for something. Whether you're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, any of that shit, it's always trying to sell you something. Mm-hmm. And some people just sit there and don't realize how addicted they are. Temu is a big one right now. To shopping, online shopping.
Shopping in general.
Well, yeah, it's shopping in general, but people are like, no, it's not that bad. I mean, it's just convenient and I can just get it right here, all this and that.
Oh, no, online shopping is an addiction. Because it's the easy access grab. It's how do you describe like when you get the package that the endorphins kick in? You're like, ooh, a little treat for me.
But here's the thing though, is by doing that, by letting these platforms do that to you, they are making you addicts. They are saying it's so easy to get a hold of, man. All you gotta do is just stay right here, stay on your screen and just keep scrolling. We'll give you some new products that we hear from you talking about to other people, or you're searching it up and shit. And we're gonna fucking just like flood you with it. So now you're addicted because we got the drug right in front of you, man. And then you're just like, man, I didn't realize that shopping was so convenient and easy to get a hold of.
And you're like, I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that.
Mm-hmm. And now you're realizing TikTok, Temu, Facebook, Instagram, fucking hell, even MySpace back in the day. Probably not MySpace, I don't know. But they became your dealers, man. You're letting them become your dealers. Even your streaming app providers are becoming your dealers because they're doing everything they can to keep you addicted to sit right there in front of them.
Our streaming apps want us to buy a car so bad.
Buy cars, buy fucking... Or you if you want the best streaming app, you got to go over here.
Yeah, they're commercialing other streaming apps. What the fuck? Aren't y'all competitors? No, apparently not.
No, that's where I'm saying. I think that all the streaming apps, which I know we've talked about this before on our streaming app galore, is that they are all ran by one company.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That they run all the cable, all the streaming apps, all the fucking entertainment. They run it all. Yep. And we're just sitting here like, oh no, we got to fight for this one. We got to fight for that one.
Streaming apps is an addiction. Streaming. Because I know somebody who's got them all.
Oh, I know. It's dude, I asked them how much they spend on streaming apps a month, and she's like, I probably spend about $400 a month on streaming apps. And I was like, you're fucking insane. You're fucking insane. I spend $10 a month on one, and I'm freaking the fuck out.
Like $10, jeez. When is that going to come out?
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, how can you do that? And it was funny because she laughed and she was just like, yeah, I think I need to go through and just start canceling some of those because I don't think I canceled any of them, and that could be why I'm broke. You think?
You fucking think?
But no, I mean that's the thing though, is like
that's a car payment.
I think that moment she realized that she might be addicted to fucking streaming apps. That she might be like, holy shit, I'm addicted to this. I wouldn't say I quote unquote classify as addicted. No, you addicted. You got all of them. You addicted. You can't go without
your shows.
Yeah, without missing a beat. Like so. That's why we're doing this episode, because we're just trying to point out
as a podcast that got started on TV shows and movies.
We're sitting here saying, I don't
think we're addicted to it. I'm just like, because like we be falling behind a lot on shows we watch, so and it doesn't bother us. We actually forget they exist for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when's the last time we've done a movie review? We haven't done movie reviews in a minute. Like it's been a minute.
Oh yeah, we've watched a few movies.
Yeah, we've watched.
Not very many, but yeah, we've just been busy.
We've been broke. We've been trying to survive, and
we've been broke, he says. Oh, the sound, the sweet.
But yeah, it's one of those that we really wanted to point out so many fucking flaws and so many forms of addiction. Like, it's so crazy to really think about how easily people can be addicted nowadays. I'm glad no one got addicted to the Tide Pods.
The Todd Pieds.
The Todd Pieds.
Yeah, them damn Todd Pieds.
I'm just glad. But there are people who are addicted to trends that just can't get enough of them. Yeah. And it's not about just watching them. They have to do them themselves. And
yeah, everyone who has to do the TikTok videos, like they have to do.
Yeah, they have to do it. And they have to do that. You became addicted. All right? That's addictive personalities. And guess what? Everybody has it. So don't think that you are unique or special. Somebody else out there has the same thing. That's why they say there's always someone out there that's for you. Well,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean,
we're not saying it's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but the only thing that I'm saying that is, if you realize that you have this addiction and it's costing you almost everything in your life, please call somebody, get some help, reach out to somebody that in a professional field that is affordable, because Jesus Christ, they're fucking expensive.
Well, the first step is to realize that you are addicted, and then sometimes after that, you can really help yourself. Like that guy I was talking about, who would you're like, man, I party so hard on the weekends. That was just on the weekends. Mm-hmm. That's not even every day. That's not how bad that addiction can get.
Yep.
The addiction can get that you can't function without alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not functioning.
And that's what I was saying a second ago when you were talking about that, is that I realized that too. We're now, we had friends come over the other night, and I was bummed because I didn't have any alcohol, and then went and spent money on alcohol that we didn't have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
That's at least the beginnings of an addiction there.
Yeah. So now that you brought that up, I'm just like, okay, well,
it's not like we haven't gone months without alcohol before.
Yeah, but now I'm just like,
try it. You're gonna try it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
it's not hard for me.
we're gonna do this. We're gonna. Well, I don't know if you're gonna join me, but I'm gonna.
Oh, I won't touch alcohol if you're not touching it.
Okay.
It's not hard for me though.
Okay, well, then we will go 1 month without any alcohol.
If I hear you say I could really use a beer one time, I'm gonna add a month.
Okay, so we're gonna go starting on January 1st. I know people. I'm not into that fucking New Year's resolution shit, but we have family that's already made plans to come out here and drink with us.
Hey, that's actually a good little tester.
No.
That's a good tester.
No. We're already halfway in the month. I want to start on a fresh month, so it just happens to be around fucking New Year's. So that's kind of what I want to do. After New Year's, I want to fucking go for a month and see how long we can go. I mean, I started my quitting cigarettes a year ago, and for the last 7 months, I've been good. You know, had a little slip here, but it's not bad. So yeah, let's do that. And if you guys want to fucking see how it goes, keep up with us because you guys are gonna be like our diary. We're gonna tell you everything. You can all fuck off
with my caffeine addiction. I'm not giving that up. You can't make me.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, that's like telling me to give up my motorcycle addiction.
You don't even have a motorcycle.
Well, that's because the goddamn deer took it from me. I would still have my baby.
I don't think that's an addiction. It's just a hobby.
Yeah, hobby can turn into an addiction. It can.
Yeah, I would probably divorce you if you took all my yarn.
Yeah, I mean, took away all your paint, your yarn,
okay,
and all.
Hey, don't bring the paint to this.
But guys, honestly, we're gonna go ahead and end this one because we're having too much fun.
We
pointing out all the different kinds of
addictions. So many addictions out there. Some healthy, some not.
But if you guys have struggled with addiction or have a good story that you would like to tell us, please leave us a comment down below or leave us an email over at thecallingcouplepod@gmail.com. And we would love to hear how you've overcame it or if you're on your way to start.
Yeah.
It is okay to sit there and say, I haven't started yet, but I know what I've got and I want to get there.
Let us know if this episode made you realize something about yourself too,
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do it in an email, that way it's not public comment down at the bottom.
Yeah. And if you want to, and you want people to hear your inspiring story or any of that, let us know and we will put it out here. But other than that, guys, try to go through life as best you can without any kind of substance to help you get through the day and try to enjoy it as much as you are willing to allow because fuck, that's up to you if you want to go outside. I get it. I don't want to go outside either. But
I do. Outside is nice.
If you do decide to go outside and be around people and start adulting, just know that you don't have to have things to help you get through the day. You got you, and you is good enough. Other than that,
Get caught.